team news, how's Fraser Campbell?
He's done a bit of training out, not with the main group, but he's done a bit of running around this morning, so it's probably going to be too early for him at the weekend, but we'll see.
Stephen Kingsley?
Stephen's done a little bit running around with Fraser as well. Again, probably going to be too early for the weekend, but you never know.
What are the two injuries?
Fraser's got a hamstring. He's picked up at Brentford, so that's a hamstring strain. And Stephen Kingsley's got an irritation to his hip.
Right, same problem as last time.
So his hip's irritable. So
Dan Batty, any chance of him being back?
Dan won't be fit for the weekend. No, he's got a back injury at the moment. Hopefully that will start to settle down, but he's not going to be available for the weekend.
You had high hopes Kevin Stewart might be back this weekend. That's still the case?
Kevin's trained today with the main group, and all being well, if he doesn't have a reaction, obviously he had a back injury, if he doesn't have a reaction, then Kevin comes into contention for the squad for the weekend.
Have you missed him?
Listen, Kev was in really good form, wasn't he? You know, we changed it for the Rotherham game for a reason, not because he's been playing poor. He's been playing good, and he's obviously not been available for the last couple of games now through injury. So he comes back, all being well, if he doesn't have any reaction, he comes back into the squad and the thought process for the next game.
He gives you something that you maybe don't have without him.
Which is?
The defensive strength and the...
So you say Marcus Henriksen and Jackson Irvine haven't got defensive strength?
Well, they struggled at Brentford, didn't they?
No, just ask the question.
Well,
You ask me a question, I'm asking you a question.
It's not Marcus Henriksen's strength, is it? Great strength.
Listen, we've got good football players at the football club, so, and as I said, I was just having a bit of banter with you, so I think it's good to smile. I think it's Kev Stewart's, he's done really, really well. Can't emphasise it enough. He's done really, really well. And as long as he comes through today, then it's going to be great to have him back available for selection again.
Okay.
Really looking forward to that.
You dropped Evandro to the bench. Was there any fitness issue there, or was he just struggling to play Saturday, Tuesday?
Obviously, I said to all the players beforehand, I think I've said it to yourselves, I will be utilising the squad. And he played 90 minutes, probably for the first time in a long time, on the Saturday at Brentford. And obviously I brought Mark Pugh in to play in that 10 position, and Mark had a good game, his first game for a long time as well, and scored an excellent goal, the winning goal in his first start. So Evandro looked nice and fresh on the training ground this morning. I'm conscious that the injury history that maybe Evandro had, which we've got over, I think, in a good way, was a big risk for him to go and play. He was on the bench the other day if I wanted to go and utilise that, but for him to go and start the game, I decided to start with Mark Pugh, and I think that was a sensible decision.
Would Mark be fine to start again?
Yes.
Having brought him off?
Yes. Yes. No. Really pleased. Really pleased. I thought it was a good introduction, his first start there, and you know, obviously the form of Camille and Jared has maybe made it a little bit more difficult or challenging for him to start the game in the wider areas. Although he has come onto the pitch. That was his first start the other day, and I'm really pleased. And he's only going to get stronger and better and fitter for the benefit of that.
He's had to bide his time, hasn't he? But he's come in and shown what he can do. He looks a clever player in that role, doesn't he?
That very much so. Across the positions there, you know, we've managed to fortunately sign him from a Premier League club, and you know, he's experienced. You can't buy enough experience, and he's talented, and he's got a great work ethic. And as you say, he unlocks defences. He's got a real good final pass, and he scores goals, and that was evident with the winning goal that he scored the other night. So really pleased. So again, we talk about the quality of Evandro, we talk about the quality of Mark Pugh, we talk about the quality of Bowen and Grzycki, and David Milinkovic is doing really well. He can maybe count himself a little bit unfortunate, and I've said to him this, maybe not to be in the starting 11 because of the form that he's been producing in training, and his attitude in training has been top draw. So, you know, it's good. We want that competition for places. We want that work ethic. And we've got ability, and we've got players who can go and score goals.
What's the mood in the squad after Tuesday night? Do you get the impression that genuinely believe that top six is back on? Well,
you don't, I'm afraid, young man. Why not? Listen, we've got 12 games to go. Start of the season. Everyone had his tip for relegation. Wasn't it? Everyone has a tip. The message from the club was sustainability. We lost all the players, we've had to start again, we're building through. We are now entering March. We've got 47 points, so I'd like to think we've now put ourselves away from that relegation battle. We've got 12 games to go. We're 6 points off the playoffs. we're chasing a playoff spot. Isn't that a great thought? Isn't that something to make you smile, to look forward to? We've been on a really good run, so we've demonstrated that we can go on a run. Of course, we've got to do that same run again. But why not? Why can't we be positive? Why can't we have that mindset of, come on, we've got all to gain and nothing to lose? So for me, I think it's an exciting prospect for the remaining 12 games. Now, obviously, we need to be on that run that we had before. We know that. But let's be positive about it and let's get a smile on our faces. The lads work extremely hard. We've dealt with the setbacks that come our way and we've responded in the right manner. We've got a great togetherness. The supporters, again, I've highlighted it, the supporters are with the players. It's great. We're a team together. So why can't we go and enjoy the remaining couple of months of the season with an optimism that, do you know what, we're chasing a playoff berth and we're not looking over our shoulder as much as thinking we're in a relegation scrap, because we're now on 47 points. And that puts us in a strong position now to be thinking about, come on, can we go and chase down this playoff position? 6 points off with 12 games to go with a lot of good games to play.
Is it an advantage that you've got so many teams above you to play?
It's an advantage that we're 6 points off and we've got 12 games to play. Our home form is very good. It's going to be an interesting game at the weekend because we're going to have to break down a very solid, resolute team that will sit deep and look to go and counter-attack. So we've got to have a bit of patience about ourselves as well to go and break them down. Very wary of the counter-attack and obviously the physical ball, but they can get the ball forward to Jukovic, for example, and play off him. But why can't we be excited? Why can't we? Because there's always been a lot of doom and gloom, and we're in a position where the lads are having a right good go. And look forward to the remaining 12 games of the season. The summer takes care of itself. We focus on the here and the now. And why can't we, have a smile on our face and go and be positive about entering March, trying to chase down a playoff position?
A win on Saturday would take you beyond last season's points total with 11 games to play. How significant would that be?
That's another reason to have a smile on your face, I think. Especially when we talked about in October we were bottom of the league, and everybody talked about us being, clear favourites for relegation across the board. And what we've done is we made sure, and we've started like the first day of pre-season with 10 academy players. Dan Batty's come into the team this season, and he's done really, really well. But he's led the opportunity, if you like, for the likes of now a Robbie McKenzie, a Brandon Fleming, and Adam Curry, a Max Sheaf, Lewis Ritson, Keane Lewis Potter. A pathway for the youngsters in the championship. These guys have all contributed so far, and we sit 12 games to go, 6 points off a playoff position. I think it's fantastic.
This season will inevitably go down as a success, won't it? From no matter what goes down in the last.
I'd like to think so. In respect of obviously myself and Andy Crosby joined the football club last December, and as a football club, we've managed to avoid relegation, which was obviously a situation that we could have faced, and that went all the way down. This year, obviously, all the players then went in the summer. This season, obviously, we got off to a challenging start. As I say, when you come into October, you're bottom of the league. But we're now not thinking about relegation. We're thinking about all these youngsters who've gone and played. We're thinking about talented football players who are demonstrated we're a team. We're engaged with the supporters. And we're now, with 12 games to go, 6 points off the playoffs, chasing down a playoff spot. I think it's great.
You can be justifiably proud of what you've done as a coaching team. Are you frustrated you can't look to next season?
Well, listen, we're going to stay in the here and the now. When we've planned our pre-season programme, so we know what we're looking to go and do. We're going to concentrate on the next game now, which is Birmingham. Going back to it, it's the focus, the process of what we can go and do, and look forward and enjoy, get a smile on our faces, and make sure we keep a smile on our faces. The lads work extremely hard, and for the supporters that come down to the KCOM on Saturday, they got right behind the players again the other night, and we knew it was going to be challenging against Millwall, especially after the heavy defeat that we'd had at the weekend. And from the very beginning, the supporters were doing everything they could to lift the players. And that was noted and that was appreciated, and we thank that. And I know, walking around, living up here, that how many people maybe that weren't in the stadium were still willing this on as well. So I know that. And what we've got to do is make sure that everybody can still have an opportunity to smile and enjoy, without the pressures of what things are, enjoy the remaining 12 games of the season, and just take it from there.
I gather you had a meeting with your owners earlier in the week. Was your future addressed at that point?
How did you know that? There's no secrets, is there? There's no secrets anywhere. Listen, yes, I sat down with the owners on Monday, late Monday afternoon. Obviously, I'm addressing where I want us to be going forward for, and trying to make things happen for the start of next season and the lessons that we learned from last season. So they're private conversations, but we're trying to make things happen. I want us to make things happen. So in due course, all things get revealed. You haven't asked me about contracts yet. I'm sure that's one of the questions on the line. My answer will be, when there's anything to be said, we'll say it. When there's anything to be talked about, we'll come forward and say it, because that's what I want us to do. But in the meantime, we've got a totally committed group of players who are all focused on seeing if we can chase down this playoff position in the Championship, and having smiles on our faces and keep engaging with the supporters and seeing as much as we can keep the smile on the supporters' faces, enjoy this next 12 weeks of the season. As I said, going back to us, the message was at the start of pre-season, the club's message was sustainability, and we've had to start. So we've worked really hard to put ourselves in this position. Let's make sure we enjoy it.
Were you encouraged by what you heard from the owners?
Well, listen, I've got a clearer understanding of what the process is likely to go and be. So from my point of view, obviously, I'm focusing on what we can go and control in a big way to keep moving forward.
When you talk about process, do you mean like the budget was outlined for next year? Or?
I've got an understanding of what where we will go in the summer. As I said, from my point of view, we're going to use all our energies to see if we can focus and chase down this playoff position in the Championship.
Do you think you'll be the manager of this club next year, or the head coach?
Who knows what the future holds for all of us? I've laid out the plans for pre-season, so therefore that surely underlines I'd like to be the manager here. I've laid out thoughts and processes on potential players. I want to go and do things, so that would indicate that I want to be here. Andy Crosby wants to be here. We want to be here. I highlighted that. So we are, as I said, we had a private conversation. I'd like to think that the owners want us to go and be here. These things will be addressed accordingly down the line. The time frame is whatever the time frame is going to go and be. And in the meantime, keep doing your job, keep working hard, keep trying to inspire everybody to do the best they can and enjoy the rest of the season.
Have you been offered a contract for next season yet?
I've not. Listen, these conversations are going to be privately done. Good question. Nicely put. But listen, I want us to do well. I'm sure the owners want us to all do well. So let's just make sure that we get the best out of the lads that we've got. And in due course, everything will be addressed accordingly, I'm sure.
You strike as though you are relaxed about it, but it's your coaching team as well that I guess you'd like looked after as well, because they've been there with you along the way. Yeah, we've got a real good staff, and again, Andy Crosby. So from our point of view, obviously myself and Andy Crosby are both out of contract in a couple of months' time. We would like to still be at the football club. We made that perfectly clear, and we are having plans in place that we will be here, which I've talked about, and that's what we want to go and do. I suppose the phrase from the football club is always it's business as usual. Get on with it. So it's I'm being as positive as I can, as I always am, because that's just me. And let's go and enjoy the next game. Look forward to it, do everything we can, and enjoy the remaining 12 games of the season.